Friday started on the right note, first with some of the trending issues. And I think naturally we should start with petrol prices. Naira for crude and all of that. It looked like it wasn't going to happen, especially because March was ending and there was no word from at least the federal government. But now we can tell you that the Naira for crude agreement has been rejuvenated. It's now a thing now, so we're clear on that fact. No more, uncertainty around that. So Dangote, other refineries will be getting their crude in Naira after all of the meetings and the suspense, I should say. But what does it mean for you, really? It's the price of petrol and other derivatives. And you see Dangote refinery reduces petrol price to 865 Naira. You had said that since it was getting crude for dollars, it was going to be pricing its petrol in dollars. But now that we're back to Naira, it looks like it's showing, or it should be showing at the pump for you. So, Bukola, how do you feel about that?
Why me? Why not ask Jeffrey?
Jeffrey,
how do you feel, you buy petrol, don't you?
We ask you because when you are the petroleum minister on the program,
it is your people that goes.
I look at the economics of the petroleum minister, but you are the touch point.
Well, just a bit of a relief, not excessive relief, particularly because of where we're coming from. Just a couple of months down the line, about 20 months, we're buying petrol for about 200 Naira per litre.
So let's start it. You have the
Linus is the first user in this one after Bukola. Linus says Dangote is not reducing price at all, right? Oil price is $57 for more than 5 days now, and yet we're buying fuel above 900 Naira instead of 600 to 650 Naira fair value. The oil price comes down, so Dangote and marketers should sell 650 instead of 865 Naira. And that speaks to just how not transparent that sector can be on its day.
So I'm looking at WTI. WTI is $60. Yeah. Brent is $63. So why are we buying this thing at the price we're buying? Because it's supposed to oscillate now.
Yeah, oscillate depending on the
price movement. So anyway, he has a good point there. This is Free Mind saying that's great. I hope it is sustainable and for a long time. I think what happens to Nigerians sometimes, we just get exhausted.
So we should be asking these questions of the real Minister of Petroleum, which would be Mr. President, and perhaps the Minister of State for Petroleum. But we haven't been getting any answers or any accountability in that space.
Our ministers of petroleum are not answering us when it comes to petroleum issues. They have other issues they want to face. It's Eneke Lopobri that we should be asking those questions.
Well, Shagari has, I believe, similar sentiment. Rinse and repeat. I like that. How many times would they reduce it to the same amount? They reduced it to the same price the last time. Now they're reducing it to that same amount again. A country full of conundrum. By now, we're very used to that word. Well, he continues by saying, by now, the reduction should reach 700 or 600 Naira, not 860 Naira per litre any longer.
I totally agree with them in a layman's perspective that if they told us that it's market driven, right? The biggest component of cost of production for a refinery is actually the crude oil.
Crude itself.
Crude is the most expensive component of everything. Every other thing is just little pieces here and there. So if the price of crude has come down, I think we should by now be buying it around 700 Naira, perhaps. Anyway, let's...
So our refineries, the managers of our, petroleum industry, are they Shylock? These questions are important in the light of the circumstances.
Unfortunately, to get these men to come and answer questions is a tough job, and sometimes it's quite sad. When people in office, public servants, public officers shy away from answering questions, I feel that sometimes we just need to reorient them. It's not a war, it's not a combat, it's not me and you against the other. As you and I have taken on this job, we're already ready for the risks, the abuse, the curse, the threats, and all of that. That's what the job comes with. So it's quite sad sometimes Nigerian public officers, so you want to get them to talk and they shy away. Anyway,
just to add to the point you made, that refining is just about 15% of the whole cost. Crude is a big deal, and that's why people were saying, well, let's have a different arrangement with Dangote. Let Nigeria still retain its crude, give Dangote a refine, give us the product back. Because at the end of the day, it will be business. It will be normal business for a private firm. It's going to be business, and the business is to maximize profit. Forget the price of crude and all of that. So maybe we need to relook at that. But back to the point you were making, Jeffrey, the train that broke down. This is not as a result of petrol, clearly, and this was a shocker for people because a train broke down in Kogi forest. Forces Abuja-bound passengers to trek for hours, and we understand that that train service has now been suspended for obvious reasons. But guys, look at this. I imagine the trauma these people will be going through, thinking, I hope nothing untoward happens right here in the forest.
You know, for a curious reason, that video was comical and at the same time very, very unsettling. You know, particularly because of the narratives that have trailed, evidential narratives, by the way, that have trailed train incidents in the past. We can't forget in a hurry the very popular kidnap of the Abuja-Kaduna train route. So this happening many months down the line, when we ought to have moved ahead from, you know, incidents like this, where, you know, a train would break down, I believe that's the language, right in the middle of the forest. It's very, very worrying. And perhaps, you know, those guys that were, you know, on the train that had to get off should perhaps do another video. Let's know that they're safe, they got to their destination, and they're well and okay.
I'm just happy nothing happened to them.
Yeah.
And that is, for me, the technical issues could be sorted, but that they walked the long distance, as painful as that is, but they came out alive. Because we would have been saying something else right now. Yeah. But let's get to the
technical issues, really, Jeffrey. We hope it will not happen again.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just life as against whatever has happened. Yeah. Life first. You know, I'm not agreeing with anything that got bad and all of that. But that their life is important to all of us.